Greg Mulvihill is lucky to be alive after being lured into what police call a death trap.
It's not like he didn't get a life-threatening injury. We just happen to live in a time where we have excellent medical care, and he lived.
Investigators wonder if Greg's estranged wife, Diana Lovejoy, may have had something to do with what looks like an attempt to kill him.
So are you immediately thinking wife as a suspect?
Not at that point.
No.
Not necessarily.
But detectives would grow more suspicious when they learned Diana and Greg had been having problems throughout a stormy 7-year marriage, which had effectively ended when their 3-year-old son was conceived.
Mr. Mulvihill stated that was the last time that they were intimate with one another after she found out she was pregnant with the little boy. And they basically lived as strangers in the same house.
The couple eventually separated. The next 2 years were spent locked in an ugly battle over alimony, child support, and custody issues. And it would only grow more bitter when a divorce court judge eventually ruled Diana would have to pay Greg half the worth of the house they'd lived in before separating.
How much money are we talking about?
She had 3 months to give him $120,000 cash.
Diana is said to have been furious and even more angry that the judge had awarded 50-50 custody of their child.
She wanted complete possession of that little boy.
Detectives theorize she may have been prepared to kill him to get her way.
Did you do any interviews with Diana Lovejoy?
I did the interviews. Initially, she tried to distance herself as much as possible.
Detectives have no evidence to link Diana to Greg's shooting until they uncover this store security video of Diana buying a cheap burner phone. And it's a phone number detectives recognize. Turns out it's the very same phone used by the mystery man who called Greg, luring him to this remote meeting spot with the ruse of selling information to help him in his divorce battle with Diana.
And what was her reaction to that?
She tried to come up with a new version of events that had happened.
Diana now tells detectives she bought the phone for a man she hired to scare her husband into giving up his child custody rights before their divorce became final.
Hello?
Diana would identify the man as Weldon McDavid Jr.
Now I'm ready.
A local gun instructor, she says, had been giving her shooting lessons so she could defend herself against Greg, whom she claims was abusing her and their little boy.
She had made accusations that he sexually assaulted her, was molesting the child, was a drug abuser.
Diana told detectives she'd seen a report on NBC's Dateline in 2013 when McDavid was hailed as a hero for helping another woman, Crystal Harris. He claimed he was helping Harris protect herself from an allegedly abusive husband.
I asked her, "Are you prepared to kill him?" Because that is a very real possibility.
McDavid says in the report that he'd given Crystal shooting lessons too.
And after a few moments, she said, "Yes, if I have to."
But Crystal didn't have to. Diana tells detectives it was never her intention to have McDavid kill or hurt Greg unless it became necessary.
She also lets us know that there was eventually a plan to either have Weldon McDavid scare her husband or murder her husband and call law enforcement.
Detectives say Diana used all her charm to talk McDavid into helping her.
Did you talk to either of them about whether they were having a sexual relationship?
They had had sex one time, and she felt it was a mistake because he was married and had a brand new couple-of-month-old baby.
And she says McDavid finally agreed to help her.
She told us that she'd given him $1,000 to scare her husband.
But when McDavid is brought in for questioning, he denies knowing Diana and having any knowledge of Greg Mulvihill's shooting.
I'm asking you where you were at last week. You get shot. Why do you want me to tell you that?
McDavid insists he was at home at the time of the shooting, and detectives give him an opportunity to prove it.
Can you give me access to your phone to show that you were home by 11 o'clock?
No, okay, because that's fine. Well, hey, so listen, That area.
You guys are trying to accuse me of
No,
something
we're
I
not.
didn't do.
Well,
yes, you are.
Well,
I'm trying to find out your version of events, and you're telling me I don't know, and I'm not giving you access to the only thing that you possess that shows where you were at.
But detectives tell McDavid they already have DNA evidence placing him at the scene of the crime.
Any reason why you would have any DNA in there? Now, DNA is something that doesn't just fly off and blow down the street. You have to go there to put it there. Would you have been there?
I might have been there.
Why would you be here?
I don't know. I don't know what's there.
Then McDavid suddenly remembers going jogging there.
You went for a run back here?
Yeah.
And now he realizes he was tripped up by a sudden call of nature.
I know what you're talking about.
You do?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Explain it.
I was on a dirt road, just running along, and I did have to.
That explains it.
Well, not quite.
How much of a coincidence do you think it would be knowing that the area that you took is the area that Greg was shot in?
Detectives tell McDavid he left his DNA on one of 2 towels found at the crime scene.
Did you wipe yourself? Did you use a towel or anything?
Yeah.
Where'd you get the towel?
It was there.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure you didn't get it from anywhere else?
I didn't get it from anywhere else. I saw the towels there.
But detectives had already discovered those towels at the crime scene matched a set they'd found in Diana Lovejoy's home. And they would also find the assault rifle used to shoot Diana's estranged husband among a huge cache of weapons at McDavid's home.
This rifle was found in the garage up in some rafters, and it was hidden.
Now detectives had all the evidence they needed to charge Diana Lovejoy and Weldon McDavid with attempted murder.
We arrested both that same day.
Next, a shackled Diana comes face to face with Greg for the first time since his shooting.
About the time I realized what I was looking at, it felt like I had been hit in the back.
Diana shows no emotion as Greg testifies, and her attorneys continue to deny she had any intention of harming Greg, claiming McDavid was only supposed to scare Greg into staying away from Diana and their little boy after accusing him of sexually abusing both of them.